You're live.
We're live. What is up, everybody? Welcome in. Let us know when you can hear us and see us. Your hair's very voluptuous today.
I showered.
I mean, out in yourself there. Welcome in, everyone. Let's make sure our camera looks good.
Now, you want to know why?
Looks like we're good. You're a little blurry.
Because it's 10:30 instead of 5 p.m.
I had the sudor del dia.
Yep.
All right. Welcome in, everyone. Everybody hear
How
us?
are you?
Let us know where you're watching from while we get started here.
Las
There you
Vegas,
go.
Nevada.
Jeannie says, hi, Brody. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Jeannie.
Okay. Looks like we're good getting started. Minnesota, Virginia, Georgia, Indiana, New York City.
Southern
Got
California.
Kansas and Cali here. Louisiana.
Louisiana.
There we go. Central Texas, Southern Illinois, Casa Grande, Arizona. I like Casa Grande. Is this live, says Vicky? It is live. You're watching live, correct?
Correct.
Here we go. Got lots of friends on here.
Vermont, Michigan, Colorado, North Dakota, North Carolina. Are we going to the Carolinas at some point this year?
Some point this year. I can't remember what it is.
I don't remember which Carolina.
Chris
it is.
watching from Saskatchewan saying more snow on the way. Oh, we went and did a worship service this morning in our temple. So I went there. The session was at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out, and there's like big windows as you're walking out, and there's wind going, and I was like,
And
oh
it's
man, it's
dark,
gonna be cold.
and it just looks cold.
And I walked out, and it was 70 degrees, like just beautiful.
That's what I told Carter when we were walking back to the truck. I was like, it feels like it would be so much colder,
But it wasn't.
but it
was
wasn't.
beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
warm, just a little breezy.
It was beautiful. So we're glad everybody's here. By the way, the text message was so cute to announce the pattern. So that was Rami.
Thanks.
So
I'm so cute.
so cute. So guys, today we have a special sale for you that is combined with Destash tonight. So special sale. We have our friend Krista Watson in studio of Krista Quilts. That is her handle. And Krista is one of the very first. She's local here to Las Vegas, and is a national and international teacher and pattern designer, fabric designer. And she was one of the very first people in the industry to kind of give us the welcome, give us the congratulations of getting into the industry, and worked with us in the very beginning with our shop when we were over on our other location to basically say like, hey, it can be a cutthroat industry, so we're glad you're here and stick around. So watch your back. So very grateful to her, and we have all of her beautiful patterns here to show you today, and quilts for each pattern. There's not a single pattern we're going to show today. There isn't a quilt or two that we're going to be able to show you.
Wild.
Which is wild.
That's a feat.
So, and you're getting a discount. You're getting basically 20% off. You're getting it's $10 a pattern instead of $12 a pattern.
It's like 17, but
It's like 17, but whatever. So, Krista really helped me with learning new ways to quilt even before I got the Moxie, says Rebecca. Very cool. Yeah, also very accomplished domestic quilter. Domestic machine quilter. What's the word? Domestic machine quilter. Domestic quilter, I guess everybody's a domestic quilter, right? Domestic machine quilter. So, we have a lot of things to show you today. Now, before we get started, are there any questions that we can take care of before Krista gets on camera? She's going to be on camera with us today, showing us each one of her patterns and her quilts. Are there any questions before we get started?
Yeah, he already said.
This right here is going to be combined with Destash. We have a $5 flat rate shipping, and then if you order tonight, we just combine those together. So $5 flat rate shipping. All of the product is here in-house. There is limited quantity on everything that's here. So what is here is here. We will not be getting any more from her. She has her patterns already allocated to the things she's doing. So this right here is all that we have, okay? Anywhere between 40 and I think 60 patterns, right? Anywhere between 40 and 60 patterns. So I hope you guys have fast fingers because you're going to need them. Will you have yardage to show? There will be no yardage. This is strictly patterns from Krista Watson.
This is her lines for the last many years.
And you're getting to see all these fabric lines that you've seen on our shows throughout the last couple of years. That is fabric that we've brought in. She's a designer with Benetex. We were fellow designers when we were with Benetex, and we always got to see each other at like quilt markets and all the Benetex booths and everything else. So always fun. So any other questions before we get started?
How's Benjamin?
Benjamin's good. He is plugging away, eating. I think he's getting to the point where he's not as strong as he wants to eat. So there's that line of like he's not eating enough every feeding, so now he's like getting grouchier sooner because he can't quite get enough down. So working on that. He was eating every 4 hours. Then it went to every 3 hours. Now it's like every 2 hours because he can't
Yeah.
get enough in.
Start adding the.
Not yet. He's too little for that. Not quite. Got another 3 to 6 weeks. So, any questions? No kits for the quilts behind us. No, it's strictly
It's
patterns
patterns.
today. Strictly patterns.
If you read the text.
Come on,
Did you read
Vicky.
the text?
Come on, Vicky. To be honest, I haven't even opened the text yet. I saw it.
Talks
Right.
about how everyone has fabric in their stash, but you need
You're in luck.
something to do with them.
There you go. Now you're going to have something to do with them. So any other questions before we get started? If you have an unpaid invoice, you will not be able to order today. Got to pay those invoices right here. Oh, wrong one. Right there. Avoid shipping delays. Please pay your invoices promptly, okay? Take care of your invoices, pay them, and don't order something if you're not going to pay for it. Just how it goes, okay? Now, I know I'm going to start, and then somebody's going to be like, so, how much are they? $10, $5 flat rate shipping. It will be combined with tonight. Got my botanic glass yesterday, says Jeannie. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Great, great. Can be combined with tonight's orders, correct?
Will be.
Yes, will be.
There's no option for it.
Will be. It will be combined with tonight's orders if you order tonight.
Yep. Is that it?
That's it.
We
Okay.
good?
Hear you, and you look good. Thank you, Pam. Okay, guys.
It's 'cause it's
So
not
Ramey's
5
going to step
o'clock
off
at
camera
night.
so you can help with quilts.
Yep.
And Krista's going to come on camera, ready for you. Come on over here. And we're going to just do a little
Trade
Q&A with Krista, tapping in. Okay, guys. So welcome in Krista Watson here.
I can sit down.
There you go. Yeah, you know how the arrow chairs are.
Oh, I love it.
So welcoming in Krista and Cat Lady Who Sews text us. Yeah. So Krista here, we've known each other since the very beginning of us starting in the fabric industry. Give everybody a little background about you, how you started, little inspiration behind what you do. Give them just kind of the rundown on you.
Okay, awesome. I have been quilting for now over 30 years, and I feel like I'm just getting started. I was a young college student, newly married when I got into quilting. Some ladies at church were making quilts for donation. I joined in, and it was love at first stitch, and I've just been going crazy ever since.
Very cool.
And so I knew at the time that I wanted to study business, and I was very artistic, and I wanted to have my own business, but it only took a couple of years of me getting into quilting to realize, how can I make this my full-time job? So I've been doing working full-time in the industry now for about 18 years, and I always say it takes a good 10 to 15 years to become an overnight success. And I tried everything.
That's the truth, right?
I taught classes, and I sold quilts, and I quilted for other people, and I designed fabrics, and I put stuff in magazines. Literally every single thing in the quilting industry, I tried it until I settled on a couple of things, which is teaching domestic machine quilting and designing fabrics and patterns. And that is just where I've landed the last few years, and it's been such a whirlwind and so much fun.
And I feel like I've seen that. You've kind of like narrowed into like, hey, this is working really well. I'm really good at this, so
Exactly.
let's
and
do
just
it.
meeting you guys. I remember when Soya opened before you guys were even involved, and I think I met your mom and like the original store manager, and just right away I knew it was something special. And then you guys all came in, and and it's just been really fun to watch your growth. And of course now you guys are more famous than I am. People are like,
I don't know
Krista
about
who?
that.
Las Vegas? Oh, that's Soya. Do you know Soya?
I don't know
Las
about
Vegas?
that, but that's great. Okay, so that's a little bit about Krista. You've taught here multiple different times.
Yeah, great shop.
We've brought in her patterns multiple different times, but this is the first time we've had your entire setup here.
The whole play.
So, are there any questions for Krista? We'll do questions after. We're gonna start with the patterns, and then from there we'll do like a Q&A, and then after that we'll do one more rerun of the patterns. Okay. So we're gonna start out here with pattern number 1, which is called Bling. Now tell everybody kind of the background on Bling.
Okay,
All of that.
so this one, I really like to do like modern geometric patterns with big blocks, really easy to accomplish. And there's multiple layouts and sizes for most of my patterns. This one, I named it Bling because I was coming up with a very simplified block. And if you rotate it the right way, it kind of looks like a diamond ring. Like there's your little ring and there's your little diamond.
Cool.
And I thought, oh, that would be a fun name for this pattern to call it Bling. Yeah, and it's just made from either fat quarters or you can use half-yard bundles. Most of the ways that I design my quilt patterns is I try to make sure that you're going to be able to see a really interesting block, and as long as you pair that up with a super contrasting background, it's going to look great. So any fun scrappy colors, and then a very
scribbles.
light, for this version of it, I've got lots of different low volume backgrounds.
And that's the other version, right? You're good, Carter. That one right there is the
Yeah,
you can make it 2 ways.
Yeah, and this one, I call it the hashtags layout because if you rotate the blocks together in a different orientation, it looks like hashtags rather than rings. Same pattern, same instructions, different layout.
2 different layouts. So, guys, one thing I also love about Krista's patterns are that she gives you multiple sizes. So, there's sizes to do lap, twin, and queen in this pattern. $10, number 1. So, it's the quilt that Carter was holding, as well as the optional layout is this one right here, number 1. For that, okay? Number 1, Nancy, Linda, Desi, Jeannie, Bear Mom, Sharon, Tammy, Monica, BK, Helen, Donkey Times 2.
Whenever someone says like, the crowd goes wild.
You know what? When people love my patterns and my quilts, it's like loving my children. So this just makes me so happy.
Mary, Wanda, Sandy, Quilt Dream, Beverly, Jeannie, Vicky, Bobby, BU Tube, Chris D, Mickey Joe, Janice, Rebecca, Cheryl, Teresa, Kim, Helen. Nancy's like, yeah, I was first. Joy Myers. We still good on quantity, Zach?
You go.
Okay.
You got 60 of this.
Debbie Ward. Okay, number 1. Number 1. Going to our next one. So, oh, great. Great.
Turn pack friendly coming
Next up.
Yes.
Hold on. There we go. Okay, next up. This is blockchain. Give us the rundown on this one.
Okay, so this one, a lot of times I like to do an iterative process. So this is actually
You like to do a what?
an iterative. We're gonna do some
What does that
language.
even mean?
It
Okay.
makes doing the same thing over and over and making it better. So you iterate.
Okay.
So the first iteration.
Like reiteration.
Iterate, exactly.
Okay, all
Yes,
right.
yes. Just
Got
wait
it.
till we
Mom
get to the
with
math.
Right? There you go. All right.
So the first version of this was a similar design, but the math was a little bit different, and it wasn't pre-cut friendly. And
Okay.
so I had some people request, and they said, "Can't you make this pre-cut friendly to use charm packs?" So I reiterated the design, re-released it a couple years ago, and these are all 5-inch squares. So really easy. You can use 5-inch
no
squares.
cutting.
Yeah, 5-inch squares, or if you have a layer cake and you have 10-inch squares, you cut them into 4.
quarters.
And then contrast, light and dark. You're going to see this theme throughout my patterns. Colorful fabric, dark fabric, light fabric. So charm pack, 2 different fabrics, easy to make it, multiple sizes.
Very
And
cool.
it includes machine quilting suggestions because none of my patterns say quilt is desired. It actually gives you ideas if you want to finish
Of what
it
to
yourself.
do. Very cool. Guys, number 2 right here, blockchain, number 2 for this pattern. And everybody got one that put it down. Sharon, Jeannie, Linda, Eileen, Tammy, Dale, Catherine, Desi, Barbara, Peggy, Wanda, BU2, Monica, Gnome Gato, Christy, Beverly K, Marsha, Nancy, Kim, Kathy, Teresa. More available. And yes, we'll start showing you the backs too, E. Maria. Lon and Patricia as well. And sizes on this are 34-inch square, 46 by 57, 69 by 69, or it's 92 by 103. So she gives you 4 options in the pattern. Number 2 for blockchain. Lon and Patricia got you guys down. Okay, next up. This is blooming wallflowers. Let's hear it.
So for this quilt, I know you're not supposed to have a favorite. It's like having a favorite child. You know, I do have 3 children. They're all my favorite. But this is really special. This is one where I wanted it to look more complicated than it is. The actual block is very simple.
Okay.
And you lay it out on a diagonal layout, and it looks complicated. It looks like it's overlapping.
I
It's
see what you're
all
saying.
within the color placement, and there's 2 different versions. This one over here, you use the same background, and each fabric is a different for the little stars right here. Then all of these little overlapping flowers are the same. But if you look at this one, it's different. Each background is different. This one's busier. This one's a little bit calmer. This is more of a rainbow colorway. This is kind of black and white and bright. And it just looks so dynamic, but it's the same pattern.
I don't know if you could use calmer with any of your quilts. That's why I love your quilts so much, is because they're all very, like...
Out of everyone in the industry, she
More
has the
is
best
more, you know.
backings.
Show the backing.
Yeah, this one has a piece backing. That one's super fun.
Here's the backing. Guys, this is number 3 for this quilt pattern. There's their backing for it.
Yeah, I love using leftovers on the back
Number
because
3.
then nothing goes to waste.
Sure.
Nothing
Yeah,
goes to waste.
number 3, guys, for that pattern. This is Blooming Wallflowers, which is the one they just showed those 2 colorways of. All patterns, $10, guys. $5 flat rate shipping can be combined with tonight, okay? Number 3, Dale, Desi, Vicky, Elaine, Beth, Patricia, Marsha, Kathy. More available. Susan got you down. Hey, Krista, can you also give a shout out to the collection in the quilts? We let them know
Absolutely.
what collection.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I have designed, well, here, okay, pop quiz for anybody. Does anybody know how many fabric collections I have designed for Benartex?
I'm going to go with like, I'm going to go with 15.
Almost. Little lower.
13?
Little lower.
12? 10? Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Joy, Southern Header, Mickey, Debbie, Bobby, Shirley, Envy Nancy, Gnome Gato, E. Marie. Envy Nancy for a 10 as well. Number 3, guys.
10 collections?
Oh,
10
Gnome Gato,
collections.
E. Marie, and Envy Nancy. I get what you're saying. You're good. Okay, next up. This is Charming Chevrons. This is probably one of your longest running ones, right?
It's my first pattern I ever released. I released it originally back in 2014, so it's 10 years.
Okay.
I have updated the covers. I have added more sizes. In my latest version, which you can see on the cover, I show 2 different layouts for different sizes. The one behind us is made from 5-inch squares, and that's where the original name come from.
Charming
Chevrons.
squares, or
It's
Charming
made out of,
Chevrons.
yeah, it's made out of charm squares. 5-inch squares here, 5-inch squares there. There's also a version of it if you want to make it with 10-inch squares with a different layout.
Cool.
This one is so special, and the fabric collection is called Good Vibes.
Yep.
The fabric's no longer available, but you can probably find it somewhere. I know
Yep.
you guys carried it
Yep.
at one time.
We
but again,
had those ones on the D-Stash, guys.
yeah.
Both those.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
But light in the background, colors. If you want really good contrast, just make sure you've got a light or dark background. It works great all the time. Includes the
Number
machine
4.
quilting. And it's fun. I've made this quilt probably 6 different times over the last few years, and every time I make it is super fun.
Cool. Number 4, guys. Charming Chevrons, number 4. Again, very pre-cut friendly with either 5-inch squares or 10-inch squares. You can make a lap, a throw, a twin, or a king that's 108 by 108 using this pattern. Okay, number 4. We've got Desi, Janice, Donkey Times 2, Joy, Ken, Peggy, Tammy, Kathy, Paula, BU2, Karen, Wanda. More available, guys. Number 4. Mickey Joe got you down. Going to our next one. Next one coming up. This is called Churn Dash Slide. Reminds me of electric slide.
Oh, that's true.
Let's right.
Get a little dance party later.
Let's hear it. Give us the info on this one.
So when you look at this,
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
This is number 5.
So when you look at this, it's based on the Churn Dash block, which is a very traditional block. An easy way for any budding designers out there to modernize it, to change up the design, take your traditional block and just offset each row by a half block. This is called a half block drop layout. See, I'm teaching you iterations.
There you go,
I'm
right?
teaching you lingo, and it just makes the quilt a little more dynamic and interesting. Sure. Again, your colors, your lighter backgrounds, and the other thing to kind of keep the colors organized is, as you notice, each diagonal row is a different color. So it's scrappy, but it's controlled scrappy. And so again, whether you use my colors, you could use black and whites, you could use batiks, but put each of a similar color or style of fabric in each of the rows, and that just creates a sparkle throughout the quilt. This fabric collection is called Stitchy, and this one is still available if people want this fabric.
Very cool. Number 5, guys. And as always, you have two sizes in this one, 72 by 90 or 84 by 96, and fat quarter friendly. Number 5, guys. Number 5. Everybody put down 5. You got it. Okay. All right. Next up, this is Color Weave. This is one of my favorites.
This one, I know, this is a big quilt.
This is one of my favorites, guys. This is number 6 while she's talking about it. Go ahead.
So this one is my version of a modern, basically like a modern jelly roll quilt. You take a jelly roll. It works best for jelly rolls that have 2 strips of the same color, and if you can put them in rainbow order. So
which most do, right?
Most do, yeah. And so kind of from red all the way over to pink. The hardest part was for me, was like, does pink go with red? Does pink go with purple? But it's an optical illusion, and it looks like the fabrics are woven, but they're not. It's all in how you piece the block together. It's all in how you lay out the colors. Again, bright colors, and you've got 2 colors in the strips in the background. I used a light gray and a dark gray. Looks fantastic if you use black and white. I used some coordinating fabric on the back. If you flip it over, there were a couple leftover strips that aren't in the quilt. Let me show you where I put them. I put them in the backing, just right here, and I just pieced them, and I just thought that was interesting. So I used one fabric for the backing, and then I just put the little extras in the back. Because again, I love to use up every fabric. I don't like there to be waste. So this one is called Color Weave because it's woven colors, and I'm actually currently in the process of making a second version of this with my current fabric collection, but it's the same idea.
Number 6, guys. This is one of my favorites. Number 6, and obviously pre-cut friendly, and it's also fat quarter and yardage friendly. I mean, everything's yardage friendly, but
yeah, you can make it from fat quarters too.
You can make it from yardage. So,
yeah.
So guys, number 6 for that one.
I'm going to chime in from the sidelines. I think I'm getting a kick out of all of these patterns and names and everything because when Krista says it, it just sounds really good. It's like, oh, this is color weave because it looks like they're woven or whatever. I feel like that if I was making the pattern, you'd be like, this is quilt.
No duh.
This is quilt because it's a quilt.
So guys, that was number 6. All the patterns are $10. Okay, you're getting a little discount. All the patterns are $10. They will all ship with your orders tonight. Okay, so they can be combined with tonight. $5 flat rate shipping. Going on to the next one, guys, and this is Krista Watson from It's Just joining us. Krista Quilts is her handle. Make sure you check her out. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the works. Okay, here we go. Next is Geese in the Garden.
So these were made as samples for this fabric collection that came out a few years ago called
number 7,
called Abstract Garden. And the other thing I like to do is I like to create colorways. So this, of course, would look great in any fabrics, but I've got kind of this pink warm colorway, and then I've got this kind of blue cool colorway that looks really good. So the trick here, every time I do a new pattern, I want to try out a new technique. I wanted the look of half square triangles, but without that seam in the middle when you sew 2 half square triangles together. It's not a perfect diamond shape, but it's a diamond-like shape. So the pattern goes into detail how you cut out this shape with a regular ruler. So if you want a
no 60-degree triangles,
nothing funky, and basically it's a nice skill builder if you want to take your regular ruler and cut out this shape so that you don't have a seam in the middle, which you normally would if you made it from half square triangles.
Sure.
And the trick with the color, if you can kind of shade it from light to dark, dark to light, you can create this gradation that makes the quilt glow. So whenever I'm doing a quilt, I'm trying out multiple techniques. I want to play with color, I want to play with quilting designs. And this one, even though you can't see the quilting, I quilted
it's like
this one.
Matchstick wave.
Yeah, like a matchstick wave, and this was like a straight wavy line. And again, those are included in the pattern as well.
Very cool. Guys, number 7, Geese in the Garden. These are obviously the baby size, 32 by 40. There's also a lap size, which is 48 by 60, and a throw size, which is 64 by 80. So it's not just the small ones. Number 7, $10. Okay?
Cool.
Next. This one here is Infrastructure.
So,
hold on.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about Krista. So, Krista's husband is that where this came from?
What? Maybe.
Okay,
Let's see what your story is.
So, Krista's husband is and was an engineer. And, right?
No, but I love where you're going with this.
Or an architect. Was he an engineer or an architect?
He was a CPA. But let's do alternate reality.
I'm going to tell you the alternate reality.
Let's do alternate reality.
Well, I went to dinner with her husband like 5 years ago, and he's an engineer. So, and then eventually they got to the point where he said, hey, we're gonna just put it all in for Krista and quit his job as an engineer, not a CPA, and
yeah, exactly. And now
he's the man that does all the behind the scenes.
We're living our dream.
There you go.
So, okay, so the real story, but that one was just as fun.
All right.
This was actually
sorry.
This
number 8. Number 8. Go ahead.
This one's called Infrastructure, and this one was actually designed by a friend of mine. So you were very close.
Okay.
There was somebody very close to me, where I wanted to create a modern row quilt, almost like a row of the month. And so if you look at each of the designs, each one is a different
Flip
style.
it over, Rain.
I had a hard time with it, so I got together with a friend of mine. Her name is Heather Black, Quiltachusetts, and I said, hey, can you take my fabrics and this idea and can you design something for me? So she came up with the original design. I wrote the pattern, I made the quilt. We did a quilt along for it a couple years ago. But what's really fun about it is it shows off these really busy, colorful fabrics. This was made from my Geopop fabric collection, and each row reads independently. And then when I quilted it with a really fun decorative stitch texture. So when you crinkle it up and you hold it, it's just so, it's quilted and it's yummy and it's cuddly, because for me, quilting is just as much fun as the piecing part of it.
I feel like one thing you could do with this too is if you didn't want to use every row, you could choose, hey, I'm going to use 2 of these rows, and you could put, this one and this one and alternate them, or you could do, if you didn't want every single row, which is really cool, is you're getting multiple versions of how to do it.
Exactly, and you could mix and match. You could add extra rows. One thing you may not have noticed, but a lot of my quilt patterns, I love it where the design goes all the way to the edge, because it's not interrupted by borders.
Yeah.
It's easier to quilt, and it just kind of creates like a modern art looking.
We just had this conversation. Everybody knows we have multiple sample makers that work in house here that sew samples. And the other day we had a quilt on the wall, and they were like, where are the borders? We're not putting borders. She's like, I knew it. You guys never put borders. She's like, why don't you put borders? I said, because I don't like borders. I want it like this. If it's your quilt, you do it your way you want to do it.
Any of my quilts, if you're a border person, I love you. You can just slap them on there. For me, I love the design to go all the way to the edges. When you put that frame around it, it interrupts the flow of the design.
You flow interrupters, you?
Yeah, and so, you know, but again, this is what I like, and I love it. My favorite thing is when someone takes one of my patterns and they change it up and they make it their own and they come up with it in a different way. I just love that.
I was teaching a demo, and that was when that came. It wasn't sampling, it was a demo. And she was like, "Why? Well, you could put borders. Like, you could also not. Like, you know, if you took this and you want to put sashing between the blocks, do it. You want to put a border around it, do it. It's your quilt. Make it how you want it.
Do it. Make it your own.
That's right. That's what I love about quilting.
That last one would also be great if you were trying to figure out what to do with a border stripe fabric.
You could add in your border stripe in between your rows.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good idea.
We're designing on the fly, guys.
There you go. Guys, this is interlinked.
I love this one.
Interlinked. And there's 2 colorways of this, or no?
I do, but the other one is at home on my bed because it's a king size.
The other one's on her bed, okay? Interlinked. If it's good enough to be on her bed, right, as the pattern designer, you know it's good. This right here is number 9. Go ahead, Krista.
Okay, so with this design, what I wanted to do is I wanted to revisit the idea of a diagonal stripe, and then in the corners, I left it blank and I added extra negative space in the corners so that even though the fabric runs edge to edge and there's no border, the blocks don't go from edge to edge. Okay. And that's another one of those things. If you want to make it a little bit more modern, rotate the block, put it on an angle, remove some of the blocks, don't make the blocks go to the corners. And again, this is exploration and play. Fun little fact, this quilt, I just got it back. It was hanging up at International Quilt Festival in their modern exhibit. So if you were there at Quilt Festival, you may have seen it in
Might have seen this one. Number 9, guys. I feel like this is, like you said, it's your interpretation of it. I feel like you could also, with the modern vibe, let's say you put a couple of squares that were different colors.
That would be awesome.
You know, it would add that.
That's how I started with that, and then I came up with the whole second colorway, which is the bigger one with the colors.
Yeah. Very cool. Number 9, guys. Number 9. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Next up, and obviously there's 4 colorways for that one as well, or 4, excuse me, sizes for that one as well. Next is her lattice work, guys, and this is one that you've had for a while, right?
Yeah.
And this is one that we have sold quite a few different times. I don't know if we've ever showed this on the show, though.
I don't think so.
So, anyways, this is number 10. Go ahead.
Okay, so with lattice work, I wanted a very easy charm pack friendly quilt. And that's all it is. It's just charm squares or 10-inch squares. I believe this big size uses either 1 layer cake or 4 charm packs. But I have different sizes, so if you just have 1 charm pack, you can make it. And again, if you know me by now, you've got your colors, you've got your black in between, those are your little lattice strips, and then you've got a little bit of gray. Now, technically, that is a border on that quilt, but that border,
a fake border.
It does double duty. It's what's called a floating border, which it just allows the design to come away from the edges. It looks like it's floating, and it gives your eye a place to rest. So you guys didn't know this was going to be a design show as well as a selling show. But you're learning a lot.
The fabrics that you chose that it almost looks like a stained glass window, like looking at.
So here's my alternate view on it. Okay, instead of putting a gray border, have your border match whatever this piece is too, so it looks like your pieces are just built into.
Totally.
Another version you could do it too.
This would look great with like a white, you know, like a solid white. It would look great in batik fabrics. This is one of those that you just anything goes. Anything's gonna look great.
Yeah. So multiple options there, guys. Number 10. There's a baby size, a lap size, and a throw size. And it is charm or 10-inch square friendly, okay? Number 10, $10 for all of the patterns. Anybody that's just getting in here, this is Krista Watson. She's here with us today. Krista Quilts in the studio. All of these are her quilts. She designs with Benartex as well as makes her patterns for Krista Quilts, okay? All of these patterns are hers. All of them are $10. They will be combined with tonight's orders. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit her Instagram, her Facebook, her YouTube. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a follow. It's free to follow, guys. Go ahead and do it. It helps support the local designers like her, like us, and like everybody else out there. So, all right. Next up is Modern Logs, also another classic from her. And this is colorway 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This one and this one. You have 2 colorways. Keep going, Carter, to your left a little bit. Other way.
Yeah. So the one on the wall, that
right
was
there.
made from my Good Vibes fabric collection.
Number 11.
And then this one was made for my black, white, and bright fabric collection. Now, what you may not be able to see on screen, here's another designer tip. When I'm doing a collection or when I'm doing a fabric or let me say that. This is live, so we can't cut it, edit it, reverse it.
Let me do
It's
that
all good.
again.
You get all
Right.
the bloopers built in. It's all good. So when I'm making a quilt and I'm using lots of different fabrics, sometimes I'm going to want a little bit more contrast in the fabric. So anytime I have a light or low volume fabric, I will use the back of that fabric to create even more contrast. So for example, in
The
this
wrong
quilt
side of
here,
the fabric.
The wrong side of the
Okay.
fabric, yeah. You pay for two sides of the fabric, you might as well use them. So using the back side will create more contrast.
Okay.
This is basically based on the classic log cabin.
Okay.
I modernized it, I made it a little bit wonky. This quilt never turns out the same way twice. The secret, the key is you make the blocks a little bigger, then you trim them all down to size. Some blocks might have 5 fabrics, some blocks might have 7 or 8 fabrics, but it's the same technique over and over. This is a really
Very
good
cool.
one if you want to dip your feet into improvisational piecing, but it's still done in a structured way.
And it's not appliqué as piece.
It's all pieced.
Yeah.
It's all pieced.
Because sometimes I've seen people take like a square and then they, applique in. That's not what this is, guys. This is a piece quilt.
Yes.
Okay.
So modern logs made from fat quarters or yardage. And
Number 11.
The secret here is that I just alternate. So if I start with a light fabric, I do a color, a light and a color, a light, and that creates that contrast, which makes your quilt sparkle.
Very cool. And I think you can sort of.
Oh, show the back of this one. Show the back of that one. It's pieced.
There you go.
So again, I use lots of leftovers. I just clean out my scrap drawers whenever I can, and I just piece lots of, might as well have 2 quilts. front
That's
and
like
back.
your cool down quilting, right? As you finish the quilt, you're kind of just going to sew together your backing pieces, get them ready. I think everybody should spend a minute doing improv quilting.
It's
I think
so much
I think it helps with your color
good for your
theory.
brain.
Yeah, your color theory. It helps with kind of just seeing things in a little different light than what you're used to. So that was number 11, guys. Modern logs. Okay. Next is optical illusion. I like this one.
All right, so you guys got to hold this up.
Number 12 for this one. Number 12.
And I don't know, can you see how it's an optical illusion?
Yeah.
Every seam on this quilt is straight or straight-ish, but it looks wonky, right? That's my, yeah.
You're right.
Try to make it straight. But
That's
anyway,
actually crazy because I thought that the quilt was pieced.
yeah,
with
it's not
these.
at all. It's not. It's based on a optical illusion called cafe walls. And basically, here's how that contrast works. So if you're picking colors for this quilt at home, you need a light, a medium, and a dark. You put your light and your dark in the squares, so dark and light, and then the medium color is the sashing in between. If you reverse them, for example, if you did black and gray and white, you would not get the illusion. It's the contrast of black and white in the squares and gray in the little strips that makes it, but this works with any color scheme. I've seen it with red, white, and blue. I've seen it with green and purple. Your lightest
cool.
and darkest squares and your medium in the strips, and that's what creates the optical illusion. I don't know why it works, but it does.
But it does. Number 12, guys, optical illusion. That is very cool. Because I wasn't looking at the quilt and I looked at the pattern and I'm like, wow, that's like some serious,
Yeah, and the fun little quick history of this, I came up with the design a few years ago, and I first did it in black and white and gray solids, and that quilt hung at QuiltCon a few years ago.
Okay.
Then I wanted to see, will the illusion work if I use prints? And the
Prints.
answer is obviously yes.
Very cool. Number 12, guys. That comes in a lap, a twin, and a queen. Very cool. Cafe walls.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very cool. Okay. So, the quilt behind Brody has Van Gogh vibes, Krista. So pretty. Very cool. Okay. Looks like we're good. Everybody got 12. Everybody's getting these unless we say otherwise, okay? They'll be selling out during the second run here, so I would get them now if you can. Next one up is called Party Time. Party Time. Party Time is number 13, and she's going to explain it now.
Okay, so this is a newer one. This is made out of my current fabric collection called Dazzle Dots that is out now. And again,
We sold this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I've done this in kind of this aqua teal colorway with a little pop of pink, and then kind of a chartreusey purple colorway to see how does this look in different colorways. So this is foundation paper piecing.
Come close,
I like foundation paper piecing. It's not my claim to fame, but I wanted to have at least one pattern that's a really good example if you want to practice your foundation paper piecing. The nice thing about this pattern is it actually includes the full size pattern, that when you get the pattern, you just photocopy as many copies as you need for as many blocks.
No sizing up or down.
And you don't have to
no.
size up. You don't have to tape anything together. The block itself is in a corner right here. Here's the block, and so you just need 4 of them to make this bigger star design. Print off as many as you want. Follow the foundation paper piecing instructions, any foundation paper piecing instructions, and you're good to go.
Very cool. Number 13, guys. I didn't realize that it was a paper piecing pattern.
Yeah.
Makes sense now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
That one. I like
Number
that one.
13. Number 13.
Oh yeah, in the
That's
back.
cool.
I just use big chunks of fabric to sew them together. I very rarely use just one fabric for my backings, and I never use wide backs.
You're not a 108 person.
I'm not. You can be, but
Number 13, guys. Party time.
it's because when I'm done with the quilt, I just want to keep on going.
There you
I
go.
wanna keep
Hey.
making.
This, guys, is Sparkling Stars. Sparkling Stars has crib, throw, and queen and king version.
Oh,
It's
that's
number
the right direction.
number 14. Go ahead.
Okay, so what's really cool about the pattern for this, so it's made out of, I think it's 25 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 by 5, 25 blocks with a border. This one actually works well with the border. No matter what size you make it, it's the same number of blocks. So whether you're making the queen size,
cool.
the blocks get bigger and smaller, so you don't have to make any more blocks. And that is so you get these little secondary stars popping out. Now, this was made from my Stitchy fabric collection, which came out last year and is still around. But you can use the same colors on the back of the pattern. I have specified you're basically using 5 oranges, 5 pinks, 5 greens, 5 grays, and 5 blues. So 5 different colors, and like light to dark. And so all you have to do is get the same colorway.
Yeah.
You don't have to use this fabric to get that little sparkly. So Sparkling Stars, it's just one block repeated with different color layouts, and the pattern shows you exactly where each color goes.
And one thing too that's really cool, the material
Yeah.
list of this. Obviously, you could go like the fat quarter bundle route, right, where it's already
Yeah.
going to be pre-done for you. But it says here, it says pink 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, orange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, green 1, 2, 3, teal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it shows you which ones you need, and obviously you can change those out if you want to use pink and orange. You use
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah,
you want.
I write my patterns the way that I actually quilt, and so if I'm following it,
Number
I want to be able
14.
to follow my own instructions, basically.
Yeah. Well, how often you get a pattern? You end up opening it up. It's black and white, and it's 20 different colors. It's
Yeah,
like,
and these are all full color.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah,
right?
full color, so that you can really swap out. Like if I use pink and you want to use blue, all you have to do is everywhere I have pink, you just substitute it with
Substitute for blue.
and it works
There you
great.
go. Number 14, guys, Sparkling Stars. And again, comes in 3 different sizes, and it gives you the material list if you're not getting a fat quarter bundle, okay? Swanky Spirals is our next one, guys.
Swinky.
Swanky Spirals is number 15.
It's a big one.
I'll help Carter with this. Hold on. Number 15. Go ahead, Krista. Tell us about it.
I know, my husband is like, make bigger quilts. So this one comes in multiple sizes, but I made,
'Cause
this
he's
one
an
I think is
architect.
like 80 by 80. It has that little floating border around it. This one has the look of a string piece block, so you can use lots of leftover scraps, but it's sewn together in more of a traditional way. It's not foundation paper piece. Normally when you do a string piece block, you do foundation papers. Basically, this is kind of what I call structured improv, where each block is going to be different. Each block is going to have a different number of pieces in it. And it's one of those that you just make them a little bit bigger, you trim them down, and it creates this really awesome contrast when you pair it up with a super, super light fabric or a super, super dark fabric. So you kind of see that in my work. You know?
I like this too. I like the fabric choice because I feel like the lower volume kind of fabrics, you know, with smaller, I guess small print fabrics, looks really good in this style of quilt.
Yeah, this is made out of my Dazzle Dots fabric also.
Yeah.
And so in my Dazzle Dots, there's only 2 different patterns, and so all you see is the color. So this reads kind of solid because you see that color.
Yeah.
You got to show the back of this one because I had almost more fun making the back of it than I did the front of it.
Number 15 for this quilt, guys.
Yeah. So in right here, and I have a picture of this in the pattern. I don't tell you how to do it in the pattern because it's all improv, but basically these were all the leftover cutaways from that I trimmed off the front, and then I paired it up with just lots of leftover chunks. Little tip on those of you liking to make pieced backings, I do bigger pieces around the edges and then smaller pieces in the middle because the outside edges is what's going to get trimmed up the most. So yeah, I love making 2-sided quilts. Super fun.
Very cool. Okay, guys, number 15 for that one. Number 15. Swanky Spirals. That comes in a wall, a lap, a throw, and a queen. So,
Yeah, and that's the throw size. The queen's a little bit bigger.
whew,
Yeah.
that's a big quilt. Queen's 90 by 90. That seems like it's bigger than that even.
Yeah.
Number 15. Okay. Next up, everyone's getting these so far, okay? Next up, we're going to go with our ticker tape. There's 2 colorways of this one. This is going to be number 16. Go ahead, Krista.
Okay, this is another modern jelly roll quilt. Grab 1 jelly roll, contrasting background, and you're good to go. This is the smaller size. This one uses not quite a full jelly roll, and you can rotate it either horizontal or vertically, and this one uses a full jelly roll plus several yards of background. Really simple. You don't really have to think too much about what fabrics you want to use. Made from Dazzle Dots. I love using backgrounds that are not just white or black. So I've got a navy background, I've got a teal. Here I just use leftover pieces on the back. This one I had like a big stripe kind of I put here. So one little thing that I do sometimes to sign my quilts, because I'm the designer, it has my name on the selvage, and so I'll just piece that into my backing, and that's kind of my cheater way to sign my quilts.
That's very cool. I just saw that. I was like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I might steal that, Krista. Number 16. This is ticker tiles. Ticker tape.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's like a ticker tape parade.
Zach,
Yep.
the note on this is wrong.
That's
It
okay. I
says
can tell you about it.
Terrace tiles instead of. Do you have one?
Oh, that's the last one. Terrace tiles is the next one. So this one's ticker tape.
It just has the wrong. I might have mixed up the numbers. Zach. The one that we're doing is ticker tape.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the numbers.
So make sure it's on the right thing.
You know what? They're my quilts, and I messed up the names too. I like that alliteration, and so sometimes I'm like, wait, which quilt is this one?
Yeah.
So this
I just need to make sure we get it on the right product over there. So
Okay.
Zach, number 16 is for ticker tape. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up. Patterns are all $10, guys. $5 flat rate shipping. They will be combined with tonight's orders if you order tonight. If not, $5 flat rate shipping, okay? Now, this is the last one, right? Last one. On to the last pattern of the day.
This one is terrace
This
tiles.
one is terrace tiles. Terrace tiles, guys. There's two colorways we're going to show you here. Number 17 for terrace tiles. And go ahead.
This is all made from fat quarters. This is my easiest pattern that I have. When people say, what's a good pattern for beginners? This is it. Fat quarters, and you can do it by colorway. I have a citron or citrusy colorway here, and I have a jewel colorway. And then I have these little stripes right here. This is dark, and that's light. These are also made from my current Dazzle Dots collection. And I just, again, use big chunks on the back. I use big chunks back here. So if you don't have to use the same fabric on the back, you can use two different fabrics, which are really fun. This quilt is one that I have made. I think I've made 6 versions of this quilt, and each time I make it, I add it. So on the back, I don't know if you want to show the back of the pattern at all, but on the back, I show 4 more colorways right there. I've made all those quilts. And so this is a no-brainer. This is like your first quilt, quick and easy weekend quilt, baby shower gift. Super, super easy.
And it's fat quarter friendly, so you can go in there and grab your fat quarters out of your stash or get a fat quarter bundle and take care of business. There's baby, lap, couch, throw, twin, and queen sizes on this
6
one.
I made all of them.
And you made them all. Yeah. Okay, number 17, guys, terrace tiles, number 17. Okay, so guys, that is all of the quilts we're showing you today and all the patterns we're showing you today. What we're going to do is we're going to do a quick little Q&A with Krista, and then we will run through everything one more time now that you've seen everything. And I know that these are going to be selling out during the second run, so hope you guys are ready. So what questions do you have for Krista?
And it doesn't even have to be quilting related. I'll tell you the secret.
Tell you the secret sauce. So any questions for Krista? Give them a second to come in here.
It's kind of fun.
Terrace tiles did sell out.
I will call that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Here, I'll call that right now.
It's selling out right now with Connie Taylor. Everybody got it.
Everybody got number 17. It just sold out with Connie Taylor. So Carol, Eldred Garcia, and Christy, you did not get it. Anybody after them did not get it. Connie Taylor got the last one. Okay, so Brenda says, how long have you been quilting?
What's that?
How long have you been quilting?
Oh my gosh. I've been married for 31 years, and I've been quilting for 30, because I remember I started a year after I got married. I know, and my husband still loves me. He's like, if you can't beat him, join him. He quit his job like 15 years ago and joined me full time.
BK Bauer says, do you do your own quilting? So yes, Krista is
I am my own stunt sewer. I do all my piecing. I do all my quilting. I do all my binding. I don't want anyone else to have as much fun, so I kind of keep it. I do it all myself, yeah.
Daniel C says, do you have any Vegas strip friendly patterns? Probably not. Vegas strips are kind of our thing. We make a.
You know what? Let's talk.
All right.
I will design something for you guys. I'll design something for him.
Deal. Yeah. Okay. What line is the hashtag quilt behind her? What fabric?
Oh, that one's called Black, White, and Bright.
That one's what, 3 years old?
I think, yeah.
That
was
that number
number 6 or so. I'm on number 10 now. So
we had that in our old shop.
Yeah.
Has your husband tried quilting?
He has not. He has not. So I have 3 kids. My daughter has made a quilt. Nobody else has been interested in. If they want to, I would let them, but he's a quilt appreciator.
There you go. It says, do you have a new fabric line coming out? If so, when?
Yes, I do. So I showed you guys the quilts made from Dazzle Dots 2, which was that bright, or Dazzle Dots was the bright rainbow. Dazzle Dots, I think you guys just saw it, is pastels of the dots. So yeah, that one is coming out in February, Dazzle Dots 2.
Very cool. What hobbies do you have other than quilting?
Are there any hobbies other than quilting? No. I'm a board game geek. My husband and I, we love playing board games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, super fun. We love, especially the games where they have the little hexagonal tiles and you lay them out and like, oh, that's a quilt pattern. But yeah, I like to
I've never seen those board games.
I like to read. Oh, Settlers of Catan. Anybody? Carcassonne. Anybody? We could talk about that.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll have
those
to.
board games. I'll ask you because I mean, obviously I have little kids, but I've been looking for board games for Christmas. For
okay,
them,
so little side note here because we can go off on a tangent.
Yep, tell us.
So there's like your normal board games, which is like Sorry, Monopoly, all the stuff you get at Walmart. Yep. Okay, what we like to play is what's called Euro games. Okay, there's European games. Okay. I can't remember the designers. My husband's into that. And that stuff like we call Settlers of Catan is like the gateway game. You like that one, then you get into a whole host of them.
Are they like role-playing type games?
No, they're board games. They're board games. There's card games. There's one called Agricola. There's one called, what have we been playing? Yeah, Settlers. There's one called Union Pacific where you play with trains.
Desi says love Settlers and Carcassonne.
Yeah, Carcassonne. Yeah.
Carcassonne?
Thank you. Yes. So just anything that, one of the designers, his name is Ravensburger. Don't ask me how to spell that. But if you just Google Euro games, Ravensburger, I think, and he's this guy that really designs them. So that's going to be your little. You guys are going to do that, and it's going to take over your world.
All right, deal. Yeah, I'm in. Okay. People are asking about what patterns still available. We're going to jump back into it here and show you another round of the patterns. It's going to be a little bit quicker without the explanation, so you guys can see them. And if you have any questions, let us know. Okay. So, going to start out with number 1, and these will be selling out as we go along. So, here we go, guys. First up is this one on the wall, as well as the one being held up right now. You can make either one of these. All the patterns are $10. Number 1. Number 1.
Bling.
This is called Bling. Number 1. Hillary, Rob, Janet, Mary, Donna, Judith, Shirley, Tracy, Kimberly, Donna, Selena, KMB, we got a deck?
Yeah, about another dozen or so.
Catherine Wilfong, Marshall Dowing, Vicky, Lori. YouTube says, what software do you use to create your patterns? Use a software or is it pattern paper?
So I design in EQ8, Electric Quilt, and then I write my patterns using Illustrator and InDesign for layout.
Cool. Lori got you down. There's a handful left of number 1, which is Bling. Anybody else? 1228 got you down. So it was this one as well as the one that Carter was holding up. Zach, how many we have left? Shelly Shea got you down.
We got 5 left with Shelly.
Wow.
There's 5 left. Last call. We will not be showing these quilts again. 5 left. Anybody else? DL Starley, Deborah Holmes, Janet Mills.
Sorry, 4 left with Shelly.
There's now 1 left.
Mom texted she wanted one.
And Mom.
Janet,
Wait.
Janet
Mom wants one. Janet and who?
Helen.
And Helen.
Scherzer.
Sells it out. Okay, number 1 is sold out.
Boom.
Next, Blockchain, guys. Blockchain is number 2. Blockchain is number 2 right here. Number 2. Number 2. This one is 5-inch squares sewn with the coordinating fabric, so 5-inch square friendly. It is number 2 Blockchain. Kathy says, do you know Scott Flanagan?
Oh, I love Scott Flanagan. He's my buddy. Yes. He's one of those people that you meet, like as a designer, you meet at different events and you just see them on the road.
See him everywhere?
Yes, he's awesome.
Number 2, Hillary, Helen, Rob, Lori, 1228, Debbie, Vicky. More available, guys. Number 2. Number 2. Going to our next one. Blockchain. All the patterns are $10. We have $5 flat rate shipping. It also will be combined with this evening if you're interested in getting anything this evening as well.
This is so exciting. I want to buy my own patterns.
Right? Shelly Shea for 2. Got you down as well. Next up is Blooming Wallflower. Blooming Wallflower is 2 colorways we're going to show you, 2 layouts we're going to show you. It is number 3, Blooming Wallflower. Karen Little and Shelly Shea got you guys down for number 2s. This is number 3. Number 3, right here. Number 3. Judith got you down. Number 3. And these are traditionally pieced layouts. They're not
you can make them with the there is a specialty ruler you can use. It's not a 60-degree, but it includes the template.
Okay.
So you don't need a ruler.
Judith, Kathy, Jeannie, Debbie, Michelle, Linnea, Maria, Helen, Monica, Deborah, Michelle, Pauline, Shelley, Lori. More available. Brenda, Wiwachaki, Shelva. Anybody else on 3? Number 3, guys, Blooming Wallflowers. Number 3. Desi got you down. Okay. Good. All good on 3. Everyone got it. Next up, this is Charming Chevrons. Charming Chevrons can be done with 5-inch or 10-inch squares, so charm packs or layer cakes. Charming Squares is number 4. And this one, he's holding the lap size. It also goes up to a 108 by 108 size, depending on how you do it. So Charming Chevrons, number 4, right here, number 4. Debbie Wood, Connie Taylor, Steve and Norma Kaufman, Helen, Catherine, Kathy, Rob, got you guys down. Shirley for number 3, Rob for 4, Kathy for 4. Number 4, Charming Chevrons, right here. Shelva Banks got you down for a 4 as well. Helen for 4. There we go. Okay, number 4. Anybody else? Last call, number 4. Going to our next one. Going to the next one. This is the Churn Dash Slide. Churn Dash Slide is number 5. Number 5 and fat quarter friendly, correct?
Yes.
Fat quarter friendly Churn Dash Slide number 5 right here. And the technique that she talked about, or the modern take on it, is when you have your rows, you're going to drop them down a half.
Yeah, if you bring this
drop.
down, you can see.
Come down, Carter.
Come
down,
down,
down.
So you just have a little half block up here. Down. More. Right there.
There you go.
Yeah, there's your little half block that kind of makes
half block drop. Number 5, guys. Monica, Connie, Helen, Debbie, got you guys all down. Number 5, guys. Number 5. And if there's anyone on here that's ordering right now that has not already sent in your information, please stop what you're doing. Our number is at the top of the chat. There's a little video there that explains how to purchase, as well as our phone number, 702-280-4552. Send us a text. Make sure you're registered. We need your name, your email address, your shipping address, and your screen name if it's different than your actual name. Please make sure to do that. That way we can send you an invoice at the end of the night, and you can get them paid, and we can get you your patterns, okay?
Awesome. You guys
Next
are so organized.
You know what? Some days. Next, Color Weave, one of my faves. This is Color Weave, guys. Color Weave is a pre-cut option, or your easiest way to do it is with a jelly roll.
Yeah, 2.5-inch strips, but you can also do it from fat quarters.
From fat quarters as well. Number 6, guys. Number 6, this is Color Weave. Number 6, Kathy, Sandra, Vicky got you guys down for 5s. Number 6 right here, and it looks like it's woven together.
Yeah, so each color is either 2 strips of that color or 1 fat quarter of that color.
2 strips or 1 fat quarter. Very cool. 2 strips or 1 fat quarter on the layout here. Number 6. We've got the following. We've got Marcia, Kathy, Brenda, Debbie, Margaret, Andrea, Jeannie, Marjorie, Monica, Vicky, Lavetta, Barbara, Carol for a 5, Connie, Helen, Christina, Wanda, Kathy, John, Pauline.
Pauline Hall.
Pauline Hall, last one sold out.
Wow. Thank you guys. This is like
always fun. Number 6, sold out. If I didn't call your name, you did not get it on the second round. Obviously, if you put it in the first time we went through these, you got it. Okay? 6, sold out. Next up, you may want to guess what the next number is.
Dale D for the 4. 6 is sold out, though.
6 is sold out. Dale D, we got down for the 4. Next up, this is Geese in the Garden. Geese in the Garden is number 7, and you have from baby size, which we're going to hold up, to lap to throw. Number
You know what I
7.
forgot to mention the first time around? This is one of those designs where the design looks the same. If it's a bigger quilt, it's bigger blocks. So you're not going to make any more blocks than this. So it's the same number of pieces.
Just bigger.
They're just bigger.
You had one a while ago that was similar to that.
Yeah.
What was that called?
Oh, that was the Sparkling Stars. Same idea, bigger blocks, smaller blocks.
No. I mean, way back.
I don't know. That's like asking me, you know,
Modern
when did
X?
I graduate? Something like that. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah,
Modern
that one,
X.
yeah. I'll be
Okay.
re-releasing that one sometime.
Will ya? Number 7, guys. Donna Cat, Tracy Adams, Brenda H, Weewachaki, Monica, Andrea, Shalaron. Number 7, guys. Again, the baby size is 32 by 40. Lap size is 48 by 60. Throw size is 64 by 80.
And it only takes 5 fabrics.
And only 5 fabrics.
5 fabrics.
There you go. Kathy, Nancy, KMB, more available if anybody wants number 7. Deborah Hank says, Zach, did I already get 7? If not, put her down for it.
Cool.
It was.
You guys, this is a rush. No wonder, man. No wonder you guys do this like 4 times a week.
Right? Number 7 was the last one. Next up, guys, infrastructure. This is after her loving engineer husband.
Yeah.
Number 8.
In the alternate reality.
In the alternate reality. Number 8. Number 8 right here. Number 8. I could have sworn that he was an engineer or an architect.
Yeah, CPA.
Remember we went to dinner at Osaka's?
Yeah, that's somebody else.
Japanese
I don't know, maybe
Apparently.
another life.
Apparently. Number 8, guys. The idea behind this is that you can quilt in rows. You can piece in rows. And you can obviously mix and match your rows here, put them together how you would like. Do it exactly like this, add in extra rows, whatever you want to do. Number 8. Connie, Steve, and Norma Kaufman. Brenda, Lisa Roberts, Tracy Adams. More available, guys. Number 8. Marjorie Hall. Tracy Adams, we have not done the quilt behind me yet. We'll get to it here in just a second. Marjorie Hall got you down. Linda Luhu got you down. Janet for a 7. 7's not sold out, right, Zach? 6 sold out.
So I have a question real
7's
quick.
out.
So you guys have like a
7's good.
system that you're using that captures it all? I mean, this is like really sophisticated. It's really cool.
Zach built it.
Yeah.
Janet, Debbie, hello for 8. What domestic sewing machine or machines do you use for piecing and quilting?
I have a Bernina 770 QE that I actually bought from you guys.
Oh, that's true.
Remember? I just
do.
yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
I bought my second. No, I
You got
bought
your
my
second one
first
from
one
us.
from Bernina, and then I bought my second one from
Yep.
you guys. Yeah. I
Yep.
love it.
Brian Wyatt for a 3 if it's not sold out. And you're a Bernina ambassador.
I am.
Correct. She is a Bernina ambassador, so she gets one of the spokespeople for Bernina, specifically for the 770.
Yeah.
Right?
And I always tell people, even if you have another machine, I'll still be your friend. It's all good.
Okay, here we go. Jason says, husband Jason here. I was a CPA, but I probably should have been an engineer.
hi,
Says Jason. There you go.
That's awesome. And he never gets on
There you
that.
go,
That is
Jason.
funny.
All right.
That's funny.
Brian for a 3, Tangles us for a 9. Which is this one. This is number 9, guys. Tangles us is on it. This is number 9. This is interlinked. This is a very modern take on quilts.
And the block is right here. So it looks
Very
like
cool.
the block is here, but it's actually right here.
Very cool. I wish you guys could see the quilting of this one too. Very cool quilting on this. Interlinked. This is if you're into the modern quilting or getting into the modern quilting, this is kind of where that kind of leaks into that. You could also add little pops of color throughout it. Number 9, Tangle Zest, Marsha Ackerman, Brenda for an 8, Lois for a 9, Deborah for a 9, Marty for a 9, Lori, John, Shirley, and Weewachaki for 9s. Connie for a 9 as well. More available of 9. Anybody else on 9? Stephen Norma for 9. Stitchy Luann for 9. Did Katrina need help?
Got swamped out there.
Katrina for 9. Or not Katrina, sorry. Stitchy Luann for 9. We're talking about Katrina. Anybody else on 9? Last call. Brenda said I wanted 8. Okay, I got you down for 8. Anybody else? Guys, these flash sales are the reason why we sell our So Yeah notepads. Telling you. I'm going to show that at the very end of this, just so you guys can see them. Tracy for a 9. Brenda for a 9. This one right here is Lattice Works number 10.
There we go.
I really like this quilt. Number 10. You got to show the edges, Rami. That doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, right there.
Here, hold it.
Can I hire
Number
you guys
10.
to do this with me when I go on the road?
Right? Number
Great.
10 right here, guys, is one of my favorites. Andrea, Monica, Marty, Connie, number 10. Barbara for a 9 got you down. Brenda H for a 9 got you down. Number 10 right here, Lattice Works. This takes 5-inch squares or 10-inch squares. You can do a baby size, a lap size, or a throw size of this quilt. Number 10. Marty, Connie, Barbara, Steve and Norma, Beverly, Christina, Helen, Debbie, Hillary, Maria, Michelle, Bonnie for a 9, Kathy, Patricia, Susanna, Joyce, Janet, Anita for a 7 and a 10, Catherine for an 8,
Hold on, bro.
Jane for a 10,
And Shelba is the last.
Shelba Banks sells it out. Gone.
Awesome.
Next up, there's only 7 patterns left, guys. One behind me here with an alternate layout that Carter's going to show. So the one behind me and this one, number 11. Number 11. And this is your modern
logs.
Modern logs, but your improvisation of.
Yeah, so it's basically, I know I'm giving
I'm
so
sorry,
many secrets.
wait, did this one already sell out, Zach?
No, there's 13.
Okay, just 1 second. Tracy, Florence, Debbie, hello, Andrea, Leanne, Lawson, Connie Taylor, Envy Nancy. There's 5 left. Go ahead.
So it's sewn together similarly to how you would sew a regular log cabin with a little bit of a twist.
Okay. Mary, Marjorie, there's 3 left. Last call, guys. Number 11, 3 left.
I'm going to have so much space on my shelves at home. I've got to make more quilt patterns.
Marjorie, Kathy Case, Debbie Ward. We have not done 12 yet. Number 11. I mean, we did 12, but it's the next one coming up. Just if you already knew you wanted that one. Did you want 11, Debbie Ward? And just put the wrong button. How many have left, Zach? 2?
2.
There
Unless Debbie was mean.
There are 2 left of 11. Last call on 11. Last call on 11. Beverly K. Williams for 11. 1 left.
I just handed it down.
Here we go, guys. This is Optical Illusion, number 12. Linda Lou, who got the last 11, sells that out. Number 12. These are straight lines that they look like they are. And on camera, you can't even see it as much as it is in person, because I think the camera takes that effect away a little bit.
Yeah.
But they really look like they're going like this and like this.
You can kind of see it on the pattern cover, too.
And the pattern cover shows it, too. It looks like there. Number 12, Optical Illusion. Hillary, Deborah, Connie, Debbie, Kathy, Shalaron, Marjorie, Nancy, Stephen, Norma. More available, guys. Number 12. Number 12, Optical Illusion. Optical Illusion.
You know, I'm working on a follow-up to that right now. There's another illusion that I found, and I think I might create a series. So stay tuned for that.
Envy, Nancy, Christina, Kathy, Helen, Lori. More available, guys. Number 12. Number 12, more available. Number 12. Kathy says my fave. Monica for a 12. Ken for a 12. Anybody else? Last call. Next one up, guys, is 13. This is a paper pieced quilt. So paper pieced. Helen for a 12. Paper piece number 13. So traditional foundation paper piecing, but simplified.
Yeah, and you have my permission in the pattern. It says you have permission to photocopy. So you photocopy as many blocks as you're going to make.
Yeah. Might as well,
That's
right?
really nice.
Yeah.
Donna, Christina, Leanne, Helen, Barbara, Stitcher Luann. Number 13. Number 13. Wanda Marsh. Catherine for an 11. Nope, 11 sold out. Catherine Dupree for a 13. There we go. Only 4 quilts left to show, guys. Only 4 left. Here we go. Sparkling Stars. Sparkling Stars here is number 14. This is the one that you can... she gives you the instructions on the back for multiple different fat quarters in different colors, so you can know if you want to change the colors on it how to create the same illusion here. Number 14, Sparkling Stars, a fat quarter friendly pattern by Krista Watson. Number 14. Guys, if you're just joining us, Krista Watson here in the studio of Krista Quilts. Make sure you check her out. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the rest. You also have a Facebook group, don't you?
I do, yeah. It's just called, I think it's just called Krista Quilts Facebook group.
There you go.
Like
Facebook
that.
group as well. Make sure you join that. Number 14, guys, Sparkling Stars. Number 14. Number 14.
And if you go to, I have a YouTube video channel, and what I've started doing is the quilts that I make, I will put like 15-minute tutorials showing how I do the quilting. Not the piecing, but the quilting.
Very
so if
cool.
you're interested in that.
Very cool. Number 14, everybody got. Okay, next. Swanky Spirals.
Swanky.
Not foundation piece. This is traditionally pieced. Swanky Spirals, number 15. And it is fat quarter friendly, correct?
Yep.
Fat quarter friendly. You can do a wall, lap, throw, or queen size. This is the queen, yeah? No, that's the throw.
This is the, what size is my throw?
80 by 80.
It's a large throw. This one is 80 by 80. Basically, the queen size, I think you just add like one more row of blocks. So it's almost queen. 80 by 80 is that size.
I'm
number
standing,
15.
It's like 5 inches off the ground, and I'm all the way stretched out.
And I shoved this whole thing under my domestic machine. Easy peasy.
It's wild. All right, number 15, Connie, Stephen, Norma, Pauline, Tracy for a 14, BK Bauer for a 15. Very good. 2 quilts left to show you guys. 2 quilts left. 15 still available if anyone wants to get their hands on it. Okay. Next up. Another one of my favorites. I like this one. This one right here is Ticker Tape. Ticker Tape is number 16. There's a second colorway. Remy will hold it in 1 second. You can see there's 2 different sizes. You can use an entire jelly roll, or you can use...
I think it's like half a jelly roll.
Half a jelly roll. Number 16, Ticker Tape. Right here, number Ticker Tape.
And so the block is just a little background. This kind of floats together. Lighter
Perfect.
background, darker background.
Ticker Tape, guys. Number 16. Wanda, Catherine, Connie, Tracy, Helen, Margaret, Donna Katz, Andrea Orton, Susanna Collister. More available, guys. Number 16. Number 16. Judy got you down. Kathy got you down. Number 16. We're on to our last quilts. Number 16. Ticker Tape. Number 16. Kathy and Lon got you guys down for 16s. Last quilt here, guys. I guess last 2 quilts, 2 colorways. This one is Terrace Tiles. It is fat quarter friendly. It has baby, lap, couch throw, twin, and queen sizes. This is our easiest pattern to make.
I know, bro. Terrace Tiles sold out.
Scratch that. Terrace Tiles sold out. Okay.
Well, actually, no.
So, yeah, right.
That one we had the lowest quantity.
I guess I
So-
gotta print more.
So, all right, guys. That is the show for today. I'm going to give you guys just a minute or two to put in a number if there was one that you didn't quite put down. We want you guys to grab the Soya notepads.
Yeah.
How much is 15? They're all $10. All the patterns are $10. $10.
$10.
Okay.
Get your $10.
Right? $5 flat rate shipping. This will be combined with tonight if anybody is ordering anything tonight. $10 per pattern. Last call on numbers, guys. Put them in. There's a handful of them that sold out, so if it was sold out, sorry, I won't be able to get you down for that. We have a Soya notepad that people can track what they're buying. So that way in the show, if they're like, did I already get that on the first run around? They'll know. They can have it written down.
Oh, that's
so
super
we'll show
smart.
those.
Love it.
Any questions for Krista before we get out of here? Again, Krista Quilts, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Make sure you check her out. Do you have any other platforms that you want people to jump on, or is that pretty much it?
Yeah. Instagram. I just recently, I guess that people are getting mad at Instagram because they're suppressing hashtags, and so now a lot of people are checking out Blue Sky. So I just joined Blue Sky. We'll see.
All right.
So we'll see.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Desi Shusk, text us, please. And guys, if you're a new customer with us, at the top of the chat, we have our phone number pinned as well as a welcome video. Please make sure you watch that and text us so you're all registered to order. And if you've already placed numbers, especially if you've already placed numbers in there, we'll have your order. We won't have your name. So YouTube doesn't give us to that. Doesn't give that to us. So we need you to text us, okay? All right. Thank you for the great pattern, says Debbie.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Oh, I will. I'll tell Scott hi from you. Thank you, Kathy.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
Okay, guys. Last item.
That's cool.
2 Soya notepads. Let me get this to focus on these. 2 Soya notepads. You can write down your item, the number, the color, the date, and our phone numbers at the bottom. You can write any notes in here. So if you want the Soya notepad, it's 2 of them for, is it $10 or $12?
$10.
2 for 10.
Nice.
Put in the number 6,000. Number 6,000. There you go. Number 6,000 right there for those as well. Okay, friends, give Krista a big round of applause. Thank you so much for being here, Krista. And thank you for your friendship. You've been one of those ones from the very beginning. It's like, you guys can do this. You guys can make it. So we
awesome.
appreciate that.
Thanks
We
for
really
having me
do.
in the hot seat. This has been
Right?
fantastic. Great way. I'm going to go home and sew and design more patterns.
Design more patterns. Okay. So next year we want to do this whole show over again with all new patterns.
Yeah, I'll be
17
back.
new
I'll be
ones.
back. I'll be back.
So guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being
Mwah.
here, everyone. We will see you next time. Thank you very much. And we are